You're listening to the Elvis Ultimate Fan Channel podcast, the channel that is devoted 100% to the life and career of the biggest selling recording artist of all time, with your host, Steve Francis.
Hi everyone. You're very welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. I have a packed show for you tonight. Fan of the Month quiz, this day in Elvis history, my Elvis Song of the Week, Elvis Photo of the Week, also known as Cold Shower Photo, how is everybody tonight? Hello, Steve, says Jill. Hello, Steve. What are you doing in Gladys's bedroom? I know. Gladys and Vernon's bedroom, actually. So, as I say, fan of the month quiz, this day in Elvis history, my Elvis song of the week, Elvis photo of the week, also known as cold shower photo. And first of all, though, a piece of news that came out a day or two ago. Elvis is getting a free dedicated streaming channel. Now, I don't know whether that means that you don't actually have to pay extra for the channel or whether it's completely free. I would imagine you have to pay for the streaming, either Amazon or whoever else it's on, and then you don't actually have to pay any extra. I know Elvis Lass was talking about this yesterday or the day before. I can't exactly remember whether it was yesterday or Friday. It could have been Friday. So if Elvis Lass is listening in at the moment, stand by, just in case. Hi, Bossa Nova, baby. It's a deal between Cine Digim and EPE, Elvis Presley Enterprises. And let me read you the press release. The press release says, the Elvis Presley channel, expected to launch in early 2022, will include archival content and specials featuring the legendary artist, as well as music content from other influential artists. The streaming channel is to be available across multiple platforms in the US and Canada. No mention of the UK, which worries me a little bit. Because, as we know, Elvis Presley has a huge following in the UK and also on the continent as well, but it does only say US and Canada. On the 24-hour channel, Cine Digim plans to feature continual Elvis programming with exclusive specials and documentaries, including Singer Presents, also known as the 68 Comeback Special, Aloha from Hawaii via satellite, and Elvis by the Presleys. Now, I'm not knocking it when I read that out, the 68 Comeback Special, Aloha from Hawaii, and Elvis by the Presleys. But I would imagine that most of us now watching this channel would have those either on tape or on disc or on download. So this is going to be kind of aimed at sort of middle of the road, sort of casual fans, I would believe. That's what I think anyway. So going on, it says also give fans a chance to watch rare home footage from the Graceland archives. Now that is interesting. Okay. Home footage from the Graceland archives. So we could be in for seeing some that have never been shown before. They must have held some back maybe. I know there was a lot on Elvis by the Presleys, but that all leads me to believe there might be some unseen stuff. Additionally, the channel plans to tap into the archive as Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison. So it's not going to be exclusively Elvis. It sounds like it's going to be about 90% Elvis, maybe 10% of other. The channel will also include specials highlighting cities like Memphis that helped shape rock and roll, as well as other music documentaries. The Elvis channel should be available across its network of distribution partners in the streaming space, including Samsung, Pluto TV, Roku, Hulu, Amazon, and Fox. The Elvis channel comes as Cine Digium has found traction with last year's launch of the Bob Ross channel. Now, you might be able to help me with that. I think Bob Ross is a painter or an artist. So it says, which showcases the cult favorite artist. Yeah, so he is an artist who's hosted a long-running public TV series with more than 350 classic episodes. Maxine says, I've got Amazon. Well, you're in for a treat then. You will be able to get this. There are a few... Eric Opeka, who works for Cine Digium, says there are few individuals more iconic than Elvis Presley. He transcends time, genre, and medium. The opportunity to build a branded channel around Elvis opens up streaming possibilities to an entirely new demographic in the fastest growing segment of the ad-supported business. So, what does everybody think of that? Now, what I thought was, is this a coincidence that my last live stream, how the new biopic, Baz Luhrmann biopic, looks like it's going to go straight to streaming. It's not going to go to the movie theaters. Now, if that's the case, is it a coincidence that Elvis is getting his own streaming channel, and this biopic is going to go straight to streaming? So let me just get a drink because I forgot to get my drink. I like a little bit of sustenance and a little bit of just while I'm talking. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to try to get it. Okay, that's a good interesting thought. Okay, let me see what I can do here. I can probably get somebody on the line who is a friend of ours. Let me just see if I can see what they think. Just bear with me 2 ticks. I hope the person I'm ringing answers. She's a friend of the channel. She's well known to this channel.
Hello?
Hi, who's that?
Hello there. It's Michelle.
Well, hello. Now,
Elvis Lass,
ladies and gentlemen, I have Elvis Lass on the line.
Hello.
Well, what do you think about this streaming channel? I know you did a video on it the other day.
I did, yeah. I'm really excited. I'm hoping it comes to us. We've got Amazon, so fingers crossed it's coming. But I thought that was a really interesting thought, what you said then about the film. And interestingly, it's going straight to streaming, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so you're probably thinking along the same lines as me, is they will be the streaming channel that gets it first.
Yeah, imagine that.
And there'll be a massive big launch, and it'll be an exclusive for the Elvis streaming channel.
Yeah.
Now, everybody probably watching this is familiar with your channel. I know you don't like pushing your channel too much and talking about your channel,
no.
But you do a regular Elvis videos, at least one a day, don't you?
I do daily. It's a daily dose of Elvis, and I really try and keep it to the 5-minute mark. So nothing intense, just that daily dose in the morning. And that's how I try and keep it. But I usually, on a Monday, I'll do a little bit longer. And sometimes on a Saturday, I'll do a second video. But I do try and just keep it short.
And a lot of your videos are actually reaction videos.
I know.
Which is absolutely great. I mean, I've been, I watch them and I'm sort of bopping away at the same time. I'm bopping along with you. And I've also shed a few tears as well along the way. Danny Boy was one that you did a few weeks ago, which...
That was tough.
Yeah. For you explained why. And I'm sure it got a lot of our listeners as well shedding a tear. You've been to Memphis, you've been to Graceland, you've been to Sun Studios and all that. When did you go? You went quite a while ago, didn't you?
I went in for the first time. I went in '99 when I was 17, and then I went back in 2009. So I went for the birthday celebration first, and then I went for Elvis Week in August. So so twice now.
And your husband is a huge Elvis fan.
Yes, he went in 2012 actually, and is just booked last week to go in 2023. He's doing the Hawaii, all of that. So he's paid his deposit. The exciting thing. Lucky for him.
You're going with him?
I'm not going with him. No, I got this terrible fear of flying, and I'm just not. So the last time he went himself as well. I couldn't go.
Oh no. Well, it's funny, but I developed that. I mean, flying never worried me. And then just a few years ago, we went through some really, really bad turbulence. Oh, and I kind of vowed that once the turbulence, if I got down in one piece, I'd never get on a plane again.
Yeah.
But I seem to have overcome it again. But, of course, we haven't been able to go anywhere for the last few years because of this damn pandemic, But
they do.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go ahead.
No, they do a course with British Airways.
Mm-hmm.
I said if I ever go into some cash, I'm going to do it. They try and get you over your fear of flying.
Yeah.
So if I can do that, then maybe I will eventually get back to Graceland, but I don't know.
Oh, I really hope you do. And I'd say if you did go, you'd stay in the guest house, would you?
Oh my goodness, yes. That's where Di's staying. He's just obviously booked, so he's staying in the guest house. But I have to admit, I like being near Beale Street.
Yeah.
I love just being near Beale. And I liked it better because I was once I'd been at Graceland, I was happy to go back to Beale Street then.
Yeah. Well, I really, really do hope that you get over that fear of flying because, as you know, you did that other thing as well a few weeks ago, walking in Memphis, Mark Cohen.
Yeah.
And it just it just encapsulates the whole feeling and vibe you get when you're in Memphis. I'm not really into Elvis sort of tribute and sort of songs and so forth, but I make an exception with that one because it's just such a great song.
I know, I've been learning so much. At the start, I was the same, but people have been throwing in these suggestions, and I've suddenly discovered there's one coming up next week, Boxcar Willie. I've never heard of him in my life before. And honestly, the song, I've been listening to it ever since. I've loved it.
Yeah.
So I think it's some things you don't like, but then you can experience songs that I'd never thought I would ever listen to.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching your reaction videos, and a lot of people say, your passion for Elvis just comes across, and everybody just admires you so much for that. And you don't hide, you don't even hide. This is it. Some people cut feelings, but you just let it all come out, and we all admire you for that. We really do, Michelle. We really, really do.
Well, thank you. When I first started it, I thought a fan reaction to a song that's not really a reaction because you've heard it before.
Mm.
So it didn't ring true, but there was no one else doing it. So I thought, well, why not? Let's just go for it. Exactly.
And I would highly recommend your channel. If anybody, I'm sure everybody on here now does watch your channel, but if anybody isn't watching your channel, Elvis Lass is the one to watch, definitely.
Well, thank you very much. And that's right back at you, Steve, because I watch all of your stuff. I mean, you're like a proper amazing Elvis interviewer and things that I could never ever imagine doing. So I just love your channel. I listen to all of your videos. I think they're just brilliant. So
well,
thank you for all you do.
You've got some good news coming up, because I've got a good few ones lined up for the next few months. So I can't actually say at the moment, just in case they fall through, because I did announce one a few months back and it all fell through. So I always say I never talk about them until it's in the can, But
right,
Michelle, thanks very much for taking my call, because I know I just called you on the hop. Really, I wasn't even sure whether I was going to be able to fit you in, because sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. But I just thought, I'm going to dial Michelle now, because I know she's on there, she's commented on there, and I hope she picks up, because I've been really looking forward to speaking to you.
I know, I've been looking forward to speaking to you as well. It's been great.
Okay, well, we will hopefully speak again anyway.
I know, hopefully, fingers crossed. And maybe one day we'll meet in Graceland. That'd be nice, isn't it?
Exactly. We'll all meet up in Graceland. All the best, and keep up the good work, Michelle.
And you. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, there you have it. Young Michelle, Elvis Lass. Wasn't it nice to have her on? It really was. Okay, right. So, I have something else to do here. You can call the show live now if you wish. Now, I've given Michelle priority, because, as I say, I wanted to get Michelle on just for a wee chat, because a lot of people on here listen to her channel, and I thought it was just nice to get Michelle on as well. Right. We were talking about the free streaming channel, and that leads on to some comments that people left on this channel about the Elvis biopic going straight to streaming. And some people have said, my thoughts are that going to see a movie is slowly dying, particularly due to the COVID-19. However, with so many people streaming or just watching on a computer, the studios are in a quandary. Somebody else says, I'm not sure about the biopic. I guess streaming is the way it's going nowadays. Finding a good Elvis actor will be the most important thing for me. This guy doesn't resemble him. That's Austin Butler. But who knows how this is going to go? We are going to have to wait and see. Somebody else says, we cannot get enough of Elvis. Love to see him on the big screen. Obviously, that person would prefer it to be on the big screen. Not showing it in the cinemas will diminish it in the eyes of the public. It will not stand against Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. It will be basically a TV movie. Yeah. Probably won't even get the soundtrack in the charts. In effect, it's a real bummer. So that person is really disappointed that it's not coming out in the movie theaters. Of course, I'm still not 100% sure whether this is cast in stone or not. It could just all fall through and it could go to the movie theaters. Somebody else says, I was looking forward to seeing it on the big screen. What a disappointment. Hope they reconsider. Seems crazy. They could well reconsider. Somebody else says, put it on the big screen or it will fail financially. Does Tom Hanks have any influence to go on to TV shows, ask the movie to be brought into the movie houses? Well, I mean, yes, I would imagine Tom does have some influence, but I would imagine he doesn't have enough influence to tell the distributors where to put the movie. He essentially just makes the movie, takes his money, and that's as much as he can really do, I think. And then somebody else says maybe it will be shown at Graceland. Who knows? They could do a special screening in Graceland. So that's that. That's the new Elvis streaming channel coming early 2022. And then the comments that people left about the Elvis Baz Luhrmann biopic going straight to streaming. Coming up in a few minutes is the Fan of the Month quiz, and the topic is Elvis musicians and backing singers. So if you know a lot about the singers or the musicians that played on stage with Elvis and the singers that backed him up, this is going to suit you. And there is a prize, a monthly prize for this, $25 voucher, which can be spent at Graceland. and in the Graceland stores, and it can also be used online with the Graceland shop if you can't make it to Graceland. Okay, right. Don't forget, you can call the show live 001 if you're outside the US, 901 7299 109. If there's anything in particular you want to talk to me about, you can ring that number and we can have a wee chat. Right. Ashley Drew said it was a rumour. Yeah, but unfortunately sometimes rumours turn into reality. Maxine says, I calling through. Okay, and nothing ringing at the moment anyway. Let's have a look. We can always go ahead and do the Fan of the Month quiz if there's nothing anybody wants to actually speak with me about tonight. Or if you want to do the quiz and then ring me after the quiz, we can do that as well. Coming up this day in history, July the 4th. Happy July the 4th, by the way. And also my song of the week. And have I got a song of the week this week? I thought I did. Maybe not. Yeah, song of the week. Ooh. 1961 my song of the week is. What does everybody think of that? Vintage Elvis. Well, let's see what we've got in some of the comments. What does everybody think about the Elvis streaming channel? I know Michelle was talking about it a couple of days ago. It kind of just blindsided me because I didn't see it coming. I must admit, I did not see it coming. Vicky says that nobody can play Elvis. It always turns out disappointing. Dave says, please call back, technical difficulties. I wondered why there was no calls coming in. Fair enough. I can, if you want, if the lines are playing up, I could just go ahead and do the Fan of the Month quiz. When no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong. Yes, that is the wonder of you. Yeah, Chris says she has Amazon, so you should be okay. If you sign up to Amazon. It says Samsung, Pluto TV, Roku, Hulu, Amazon, and Fox. So if anybody has got any of those, didn't mention Netflix, which is kind of strange because you would have thought that it would have been on Netflix as well. Yeah, I'm just wondering what sort of, yeah. It could be an the new Baz Luhrmann biopic could be the exclusive on the Elvis Presley streaming channel. Okay. It looks like I do have a call coming in. All right, let's have a look here. Hi, who's calling the Elvis Ultimate Fan channel?
Oh, hold on. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, and how are you?
Who's that, Maxine?
It is Maxine, yeah.
Oh, hi, Maxine. I spoke to you last week, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, what would you like to speak about?
It was just about the channel and the movie. I think that every country should be able to have the channel, even though it's only going to be in the US and Canada. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, US and Canada as the only two that's been mentioned. But it just seems odd because he's got such a big following in Europe and the UK and Ireland as well, that it just seems strange that they've only mentioned US and Canada. It is strange, but I can understand how they're doing it, but I think they need to rethink it because that way they'd get more following, they'd get more people promoting the channel that way as well.
And what do you think about, it could financially hurt it by taking it straight to streaming? This is the Baz Luhrmann, biopic. I think we've probably lost Maxine, unfortunately. We'll try and get her back anyway. Right, let's do the Fan of the Month quiz, if everybody is ready. And I have to switch to my other... I'll just take that off. I'll have to switch to my other screen so that I can make sure that I see who gives me the first correct answer. I'll get a pen. As I said, it's Elvis musicians and singers. Okay. The first question, bit of a tricky one. This not everybody might know this. Who played drums on Elvis's final concert in Indianapolis on the 26th of June, 1977? Right. Maxine says my phone cut off. Okay. Okay. So who played drums on Elvis's final concert, 26th of the 6th, 77? Who is going to give me the right answer for that? Dave, I won't take any calls while we're doing the Fan of the Month quiz. Okay. Right. Dan O'Malley got it. Larry London. It wasn't Ronnie Tutt. Ronnie had to leave a couple of days before the end of the tour. So well done, Dan. Dan O'Malley. Okay. Wasn't Ronnie? Ronnie? Nope. Nope. Yeah, look at all those Larry London ones coming through now. Marcia, Ronnie Tutt. Stephen, Ronnie Tutt. Edwidge is Larry London. Ruth, well done, Ruth. Suzanne, yeah. Lisa Johnson says Larry Geller. You can just imagine Larry filling in for Ronnie. I like it. And question two. Who played drums January, February 1970 on the On Stage LP? So that was the second season for Elvis at Las Vegas. Yeah, Margaret says, well done, Dan. Yeah, Larry Geller fixed his hair, is right. Yeah, who played drums January, February 1970 on the On Stage LP? Bob Lanning. Well done, Lou. Yeah, now, Ronnie Tutt couldn't make that second season because I think there was a mix-up with... he wasn't told soon enough that there was going to be... Look at all these coming through now, Bob Lanning. He wasn't told soon enough that there was going to be another season in Las Vegas with Elvis, January, February, so he had another date fixed up. Hence, Bob Lanning. And Anna says, nice, Lou. Well done, Dan. He is the only one I know. Yeah, I thought I'd throw in a few of these tricky ones. You know, a lot of people wouldn't have known the Larry London one or the Bob Lanning. If you listen now to Elvis's live shows and then you compare them to the January-February 1970 season, you can definitely tell, you can hear the difference in Bob's drumming and Ronnie's drumming. Of course, by August 1970, Ronnie was back in the fold. You're right. Lou Dane, you have an amazing knowledge. Didn't know that one. Keith is right. She does. Lou knows her stuff. Another tricky one. I'm not making it easy on you tonight. Question 3. Name the bass player that plays on the 1974 LP from Elvis in Memphis. You know, the Elvis live on stage in Memphis, the Mid-South Coliseum. So name the bass player who plays on the 1974 LP live on stage from Memphis. Who's going to get this right? Again, like I say, Duke Bardwell. I'm going to give that to Marie's the name, and I tell you the reason why is because I know Lou got it correct, but the spelling is wrong. Who should I give it to, people? You tell me, Marie's the name or Lou Dane? Tell you what I'll do. I'll give it to both of them. Because when there's something like that, which is so close, I'm going to give it to Lou. And Marie's the name. They're going to get a point each. How's that? That's fair, isn't it? A lot of people say now Duke Bardwell. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, Bardwell the Duke is correct. So, yeah, if that's okay with everybody, Lou Dane and Marie's the name both get a point there. If we're all ready for question 4. Bo Duke, Bo Diddley. To both is fair. Yeah, I think it is. The biopic will be released in theatres. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Warner Brothers announced Thursday that the film will now debut in theatres on June the 3rd, 2022, instead of November the 5th, 2021. Catgirl Blue, that will be absolutely brilliant. If that is dead on, if that is a dead cert, then that makes me very, very happy. Because, to be honest, doing the streaming just doesn't make sense. Even if they do it on the brand new Elvis streaming channel, it still doesn't make sense to me. Marcia says Ronnie was the best drummer Elvis had, I think. I think you're probably right. Actually, Bob Lanning is still around, as is Ronnie. I'd love to actually speak to Bob. I'd like to speak to Duke Bardwell as well. I've actually sent a message to Duke, but I never got an answer back. Okay, question 4. Who was the female singer with a beautiful high voice that sang in That's the Way It Is? Who was the female singer with a beautiful high voice who sang in That's the Way It Is? Who is going to be the first? Maxine says she can't wait to see it. Okay, no problem. Good. Sarah N11, Millie Kirkham. Yeah, now, Millie was only there for the filming. She had to leave after the filming. But it was Millie Kirkham. You actually see her at the in the movie when Elvis is walking up in the wings and waiting to go in the wings. You can see Millie. So the correct answer is Millie Kirkham. Now, Kathy Westmoreland wasn't until a little bit later. Lisa says Linda Thompson. Question number 5. I think some of these are quite difficult this week. Kathy Eastmoreland. What was the full name of the saxophone player that played on Elvis's 60s recordings, like Reconsider Baby and Return to Sender? I want his full name. So it's three names, because there was an actual, what they call a nickname as well. What was the full name of the saxophone player that played on Elvis's 60s recordings, such as Reconsider Baby and Return to Sender? And a few others. Night Rider, one of those was another one. Girls, Girls, Girls. Who is going to tell me that? Okay, I want the full name. It's 3 words. 3 words. I'm quite Sir Klopp, Shoes Randolph. I'm going to actually be very strict here with this. Nobody has got it right yet. Okay, Marie's the name. Homer Boots Randolph. Well done, Marie's the name. Yeah, it was Homer Boots Randolph. John Palmer, John Stewart, Rock Stars, Boots, Benny Hill, Randolph. Yeah, that's right. The Benny Hill theme. Yakety yak, yakety sax. Okay. Don says I'm being sadistic with these questions. Yeah, I'm just actually looking at these now, and these have got to be 6 of the most tricky questions for quite a while. For quite a while. I mean, I normally throw one tricky one in per week, but these have so far been 5 tricky questions, especially as I wanted Boots Randolph's Christian name, not just his nickname, Homer Boots Randolph. Suzanne says, "Don't agree. I'm being sadistic." Right. Well, tricky question number 6 then. Name the guitarist that played on the Viva Las Vegas song, What I Say, who became a successful recording artist in his own right. So singer and actually actor as well. He was in a few films as well. So name the guitarist that played on the Viva Las Vegas song, What I Say, who became a successful singer in his own right. I'm very interested to see who gets this one right. No, it wasn't James Burton. It's a particular person I'm looking for. Yeah, well done. Glenn Campbell, Dan O'Malley. That's 2 for you tonight, Dan. Well done. Yeah, Glenn Campbell. That's an odd one, isn't it? So I can go back to my other screen now, because I need my other screen to make sure that I get the right person first. There's the phone number. If the people that wanted to ring in before the quiz, I knocked off the number. But you can call in again now if you wish. Anybody wants to ring in, they are quite welcome. And speak to me about some topic. Dave, we're ready to go again. Call the show live on 001 if you're outside the US. 901-7299-109. That's a Memphis number. I am too slow for every question, Suzanne. Another stellar day for me at the trivia, Vicky. Yes. Well, I have to admit, he says, trying not to bang the microphone. Larry London, Bob Lanning, Duke Bardwell. They're not really three of the best known musicians in the Elvis world. Millie Kirkham, of course, is. Homer Boots Randolph. And then Glenn Campbell, that was a tricky one, I think. I wonder just how many people knew Glenn Campbell played on What I Say on the Viva Las Vegas soundtrack. Try not to hit the microphone again. If anybody'd like to ring in, they are most welcome. John Stewart says Glenn Campbell, that was new information for him. Well, I'm glad I'm glad somebody's learned something anyway. Do you all know that Lisa Marie is now chairman of the board of EPE? No, I didn't know that, Marcia. Thank you very much. Rockstar says, "Can I ask you a trivia question?" Yes, if you want to. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to answer it. I'll give it a go. Don't forget my handles up here. There, up above. Steve Francis 5 is Twitter. The Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel is Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Bossa Nova Baby. You can learn a lot from this channel. Thank you. And John says the same. Yeah, Dave is saying, please call back. If anybody was looking to call in before the... what musician in Elvis's 1970 band played on the Doors album? Rockstars, that's a really, really good question. And I don't know. Elvis Lass says, learning is the best part. I agree 100%, Michelle. If you can learn something new about Elvis, it's great. It really is great because nobody can know everything. Hence the question I've just been asked, what Elvis musician played on the Doors album? I don't know. I do not know that. Glenn Campbell was from Arkansas. Very good. Lisa Marie is finally back in charge. They're very tricky, Steve. Good. I'll keep it up. I'll make next week's questions tricky as well. Rockstar says, does anybody know? And John has said Jerry Sheff. Michael says he's a fan of the show, but not big on the quiz. It's just a bit of fun, yeah. But I know, Michael, some people just look in for other things. Don't forget that This Day in History is coming up, This Day in Elvis History, and my Song of the Week, and also my Picture of the Week, which I've dubbed as Cold Shower Photograph. I saw her in an interview like 2 months ago. She wouldn't, about Ben, of course, but she did say now she's chairman of the board. Good. John got it, and it was Jerry Sheff. It's funny, if I had to have plucked one name out of the air, I probably would have said Jerry, the bass player Jerry Sheff. He played on the LA Woman LP. Well, Rockstars, thank you very, very, very much for that. Who knows, if I'd have been doing a little bit more research, I might have used that as one of my Elvis Fan of the Month quiz questions. I wonder if we'll see much change now with the way that things are going at Graceland if Lisa Marie is back as chairman of the board. It'll be interesting. She was actually in Memphis last week or the week before. I think it was 2 weeks ago. She was in the guest house. Chris says she's certainly learned a lot from the Elvis family. And Dave says that his Skype was doing an update, so there might have been difficulties with the call-in. Not to worry, we'll be having plenty more call-in shows. 001 901 7299 109. In 2021, Warner Brothers released their movies in theaters and HB streaming at the same time. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe that's what'll happen. It'll be released in theaters and streaming. Michael says he knows most of the answers, but he can't type quick enough. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem. I noticed that a lot of people on here now, they do know the answers. It's just getting in first. And you only need to be first once, and your name goes in the hat for Elvis Fan of the Year. For instance, whoever got one right tonight, their name goes in the hat. Yeah, Elvis was a massive Monty Python fan, and he could recite these sketches. Yes, he loved it. He was also a big Peter Sellers fan as well. Pink Panther. Elvis running through the Dead Parrot sketch. Yeah, I would have loved to have heard Elvis doing the Dead Parrot sketch. Coming up this day in Elvis history, and I do have photographs again. EPE will make far more money if it's released in theatres and cinemas. Yes, they will. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Angels knew the Glenn Campbell question, but just didn't type fast enough. Sparbara says Elvis loved I Love Lucy. So did I. The studio promised that this would be a temporary solution to the ongoing pandemic, promising a return to normal theatrical releases in 2022, which is good because that is when the Baz Luhrmann biopic is scheduled. John says he heard that he was a big fan of Peter Sellers. If there's no phone calls, I am going to do this day in history, July the 4th. 1954, which was a Sunday, Elvis went to Scotty. This is a big year in Elvis's life. Big day as well. July the 4th, Elvis went to Scotty's house and ran through nearly every song he knew. Bill Black showed up too, but neither of them were impressed by Elvis. However, Scotty agreed and said to Sam that it would be worth trying something out in the studio with Elvis. So, haven't we got, we always say Marianne Keisker. We've got Marianne to thank for mentioning him to Sam. But what about Scotty Moore saying, Sam, we should maybe just get him in the studio and see how it goes. And we all know what happened after that. So that was on this day in 1954. In 1955, Elvis had 3 shows this day at the Hoedown Club Corpus Christi in Texas, at the Hodges Park de Leon, Texas, and at the Memorial Hall, Brownwood, Texas, at 8 p.m. 1956, I have photographs. Elvis arrived by train in Memphis and walked home to Audubon Drive. He spent the afternoon with his family and Barbara Hearn. There he is with his mother in Audubon. Here he is with Barbara, beautiful Barbara, who I spoke to on this channel a few months ago. And I have another one of them dancing to Elvis's records that he recorded a couple of days earlier on the 2nd, after the Steve Allen show, the day after the Steve Allen show. He recorded Don't Be Cruel, Hound Dog, and Any Way You Want Me. And he was playing the records for Barbara, and they were dancing in the living room. And there's another one. This is one of my favorite all-time photographs of Elvis. And you can see Billy, his cousin Billy Smith. Hey, Billy looks really cute there, doesn't he? The way he's looking at the camera. And in the background as well, Vernon having a shave in one of the bathrooms. So that's one of my all-time favorite photographs, taken July 4th, 1956. And in the evening, he did a show in Rustwood Park in Memphis. And there is a few photographs of him in Rustwood Park, July 4th, 1956. 1957, he heard of the death of co-star Judy Tyler, who appeared with him in Jailhouse Rock. Elvis showed up at George Klein's house early in the morning. So it was only a few days after the movie wrapped that Judy was killed in a automobile accident. And there's beautiful Judy Tyler with Elvis. 1960, Elvis visited his mother's grave. 1971, after the usual fireworks for the 4th of July, Elvis and his gang went to the movies. In 1973, after completing the tour, Elvis went home to Memphis, where he remained for a few weeks. 1974, back in Memphis again, Elvis put on a 90-minute karate demonstration with Ed Parker at the Tennessee Karate Institute. 1976, I have pictures. Elvis performed at the Mabee Center, Oral Roberts University, Tulsa, Oklahoma at 2:30 p.m. 12,000 people saw it. There you go. 1977, Elvis was at Graceland and Lisa Marie was visiting for the summer. So that was this day in Elvis history through the years. Now, would anybody like to call in? No more calls by the looks of it. Unfortunately, we did have Maxine on earlier on, and she was talking about the streaming channel and so forth, but unfortunately the call dropped. Chris goes, "Oh, little Billy." I know it's such a great photograph. It really is. And even Vernon in the background having a shave. Elvis on the phone, probably on the phone to Colonel Tom. Colonel Tom was probably just reminding Elvis of the show, the Rustwood show, and what he had to do and what he wouldn't do. But yeah, that's a great picture. Great picture. I was listening to the July 4th, 1976 concert on YouTube this morning. Okay, right. My song of the week, July the 4th, written by Fred Wise, Kay Toomey, Norman Blagman. That's a strange name, isn't it? Blagman. It was on the Something for Everybody LP in June 1961. I often think that if Elvis had sort of continued in this vein of sort of what he was recording in 60, 61, 62, and maybe even a little bit into 63, he could have just really, really laid down an awful lot more classics. I mean, I know we have lots and lots and lots of Elvis classics, but if he'd have carried on in this vein as this song, who knows how many more we would have got. But as we know, from January 1964 onwards, they just did soundtrack albums, and he didn't do anything but movie soundtracks until 1966 when he did How Great Thou Art. This song also appeared in the Tickle Me movie in 1965. There was no new material recorded for Tickle Me, because United Artists they didn't have enough money to pay for songs and the recording sessions and so forth. It was recorded in RCA Studio B, and the link, I will include the link below in the description box, and you can just click on that. And it is Put the Blame on Me. What do you think of that? It was the last song that he did that night. He'd been in Studio B since 6 p.m. and at 5:15 a.m. he did 5 takes. Only one other take was complete. Take 2. Take 1 was a false start, take 3 was a false start, take 4 was a false start, and then take 5 became the master. The link I'm going to include will include the whole recording process of Put the Blame on Me. So I hope you like that. People are saying that great song, Steve. Love that song. Very nice song. Put the Blame on Me. So don't forget, check out the link below. Okay, calls from Finland too expensive. That's fair enough. That's okay. If anybody wants to call from within the US, that's fine, because I mean it should just be local rates. 5107 Lewis says, love the whole Tickle Me soundtrack. Oh yeah, Dave's reminded me there is no actual call in on Wednesday because just because there isn't. So this coming Wednesday there's no call ins. Bossa Nova Baby says it's a good one. My song of the week. Don says a good song. Don't forget, at the end of every month, I normally do a poll and I ask you to name or vote for what you felt was your favourite song of the week of the month, if you understand what I mean. Is this podcast starting at 7:30 on Wednesday, 7th of July, because England versus Denmark semi-final at 8? That's a very good point, Helen. I might have to do it earlier. I might have to do it at 7, because with me being English, I would love to see England versus Denmark. So that's very, very... Helen, thanks for mentioning that. I might have to start at 7. I might actually start at 7:15. And finish just before 8, because the kickoff is at 8. Are you going to do the Elvis biopic trailer reaction live? That's a good idea. I might do that. Yeah. When is the trailer coming out though? That's the thing. It'll be a while, won't it? Because it's not actually coming out. The film isn't coming out until June of next year. Right. If nobody is going to call in, I can probably take the telephone number off the screen. Dave says Skype is disconnected. That's okay, Dave. If we're having technical difficulties, we can just leave it for this week. And it'll probably be next Sunday before we have call-ins again, because we can't have call-ins on Wednesday. My engineer is away. Yeah, it's a good idea to do a trailer reaction on YouTube. There will be obviously a reaction to the biopic and a review. Italy is on the way to the final. Well, who knows? Yeah. I think Italy have to play Spain, I believe. Okay, right. So we've done it all, actually. We've done Fan of the Month quiz, This Day in Elvis History, my Song of the Week. No, we haven't done it all. Do you know, I nearly forgot to do the Elvis photo of the week, or what we say cold shower photograph. And there it is. If you like a man in uniform, there it is. But it's not the normal uniform we're used to seeing Elvis in. We're used to seeing him in his army uniform. So it is his police uniform. So I'm sure there's probably a few ladies who wouldn't mind breaking the law and being apprehended and arrested by that particular policeman. So that's my Elvis photo of the week. Taken in Denver, I believe, January 1976. Help me, I'm flaming. I must be 109. Yeah. Elvis Lass. Ooh, lovely. Jill. Oh, God, yes. There's more. There's actually a whole set of those photographs He's also showing 2 ladies his TCB ring as well. I'll see if I can get them up and show you them on Wednesday. Yeah, not many people with those size rings on his fingers is right. He was at a funeral. That's right. He was at a funeral for a police officer. Thank you, Mary Jane. I don't know whether he actually looks pale. It's just, I think it could be the flash. I think that's what it could be. Okay. So let's see. Do we have a caller? Yeah, we do. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi, Steve. It's Deb Smith. How are you?
Oh, hi, Deb. How are you doing?
Only about
Hello?
the Colonel.
Oh, you want to talk about the Colonel?
Well, I thought the biopic was only about the Colonel. We could call it Elvis's biopic, but I thought it was actually about the Colonel.
Well, the way I look at it is you can't really have a movie about the Colonel without including Elvis, because their lives and their careers were so intertwined. But I suppose I really should be calling it the Colonel biopic, shouldn't I?
I don't know. I was confused because I thought it was something different, because everybody keeps asking about the Elvis movie. But there isn't really an Elvis movie coming out. It's just, hi, Elvis Lass. She said hi to me on the screen.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to say to you is, do we know what the title is yet? I know some people have said it's just going to be called Elvis. Is it going to be called Elvis and the Colonel? Is it going to be called the Colonel? Is it going to be called Tom Parker? Has it actually been decided yet what it's going to be called?
I don't know. I've never heard it.
Yeah. Now, I think it'd be fine. I'm not sure what to say really, but if they just call it Elvis, I don't think it'll grab as many people's attention outside of the Elvis world. I think they have to almost make it like a really, really good eye-catching title.
And the other thing I wanted to know was, has anybody that's on the chat that lives around Memphis been to the Tiger Man Dojo and Museum yet?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Yeah. Now, if anybody who is on the chat can answer that question for Deb, has anybody been to the Dojo Elvis Museum yet and what they think of it?
I think I'm going to make a trip down there. I'm in Virginia, but I think I want to make a trip down there just because Billy Smith and his sons are involved. They've got stuff in the museum, and they're there personally. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do go down, ring us back and let us know what you think of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And I know
the grand opening isn't until the 11th of August, but I don't know if I can wait that long.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Did you say the 11th of August?
Yeah, that's the grand opening. That's when they're going to do the ribbon cutting and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's not long really compared to how long we've got to wait for the biopic. Because the biopic is next June, and they keep pushing it back and pushing it back. I really hope they don't push it back again, because I'll just if they do, I just won't be able to, So thanks for calling in, Deb, and let me know what you think if you do go to the museum.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for calling. So, yes, is there anybody on the... Ruth says, I haven't been going in August. My friends say it's great and worth it. There you go. I don't know if there's been anybody that has actually been. Who can tell us? Yeah. It could be called The Flying Dutchman. That's a very good... Yeah, grand opening August the 14th, and Ruth is going. Just looking to see if there's anybody coming on the chat that has actually already been to the museum. grand opening is, the 14th. So obviously that is right before Elvis's anniversary. Should be busy around about Memphis those days. How much are tickets to Tiger Man? Got to be cheaper than Graceland. I would imagine so, yeah. I would imagine a lot cheaper than Graceland. Banjo says the swindling Dutchman. Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, people are going to say, well, what else can you call it but Elvis? But it's not going to be. It's not. It's not as. There needs to be a contrast between the things that have already been released, like Elvis, the '68 special. Elvis, That's the Way It Is. Elvis on tour. It needs to be more sort of outstanding and eye-catching. Deb says that it's $14.95, so it's a lot cheaper than Graceland. But then again, you can't really compare the two. Yeah, Vicky says 15. Get on their Facebook page. Yeah. They should call it The Big Boss Man, as in Parker, and like the song. Yeah, but they'll also have to incorporate the name Elvis in there as well, because people aren't going to, casual fans aren't going to know The Big Boss Man. Call it The King, The Colonel's Ghost. The Colonel's Ghost must be technical advisor. Yeah. But you know the point I'm trying to make? If they just call it Elvis, it's not going to grab smaller and casual fans' attention as much as getting a really, really good, snappy title. Anna says no title yet. That's fair enough. Okay, Suzanne. Yeah. I won't read that out. People can read that themselves. I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I hope they don't finish it at 1974. Or 1973, I should say. It should go past 1973. Elvis's career did not finish in 1973. Yeah, Deb says, let's hope they don't make Elvis the bad guy. I'm sure they won't. It could just be Elvis and the Colonel, which is just as I said that. Chris, our student, said that, Elvis and the Colonel. Yeah. And then maybe something else in parentheses, something in brackets. I hope they go past 73. He deserves it. Yes, you're right, Elvis. Elvis Lass. They can't call it, obviously, This Is Elvis. That's already been done. It's, yeah. I'm sure they have a working title for it, but as you know, it changes so many times. Look, even in the old days, movies changed. Black Star, Double Trouble wasn't called Double Trouble. You're Trying to Kill Me, I think it was called, wasn't it? Yeah, the movie is about Parker, and he died, as far as I remember, in 1997. I'm wondering whether they'll actually even go past Elvis's passing away and cover a little bit of what Tom Parker did after 1977. That would be fascinating. Yeah, there was a book titled Elvis and the Colonel by my friend, Alan and Ash. The reason why I say friend is because I've had her as friends on Facebook for a good number of years, and I actually interviewed her for this channel as well. 20 years after Elvis passed. Yeah, he went on a long time after Elvis. Danny Smith was the guide for the museum. Okay, Mary. Danny is Billy's son. And did you meet Billy as well? I think it says we met. Okay, Steve, you're going to throw my whole time off. Yeah, okay. Right, so... the big star is Tom Hanks, who was playing the Colonel. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Tom is the main character. Although you would imagine that Tom and Austin are sharing the limelight together. Yeah, we all hope that they don't make Elvis look bad, that's for sure. So thanks for joining me again tonight. And I hope you can join me on Wednesday at the same time, or it might not be at the same time because of the football. It might be quarter of an hour sooner, but I will keep you informed. And we'll be discussing another Elvis topic. Plus this day in history, Elvis history. A brand new photo of the week and much, much more. Don't forget you can support this channel by buying me a coffee with a link below.